Hey, what's up? So, today I'm going to show you how to create and illustrate a photo in Illustrator. I don't know if I'm spelling that right, but whatever. So, I'm going to show you what you can do in Illustrator to create images and be able to color them in and do the finer points. So, what I'm going to show you how to do is I'm going to do a demonstration using animation. So, just going to grab one of your brushes. For me, I personally like to use a smaller brush. You can use whatever size you want as long as it's kind of an outlining brush. So, I'm going to start out by doing the eyes. And I'm going to kind of get a little sloppy right here because I'm going to show you how to clean up if you mess up your lines the first time. So let's get these eyes going. The only thing is, no matter what, even if you go over your lines, make sure that you have them defined because that's going to be coming up later on. You got to make sure that you have each of these closed enough so that it won't become an issue. So I'm just going to do a quick little face. Crooked smile. So I'm going to do that. Do the mouth, ears, maybe give them a little piercing, I don't know. Anything really you want. Now, let's do the hair. And I'm just going to do a quick little hair. Make sure that each of my lines is firmly connected to another line. Just because if you don't, that's going to create issues with things you do later on. It actually happened earlier to me. It was a little bit frustrating, but it's a learning experience. So I'm just going to do that real quickly. No, I don't like how I do that line. Do the neck, and then shoulders. And then just to make sure that I cover all my bases, I'm going to close this up. So, what I'm going to end up doing by the end of this is I'm going to be coloring all of this in. And then I'm going to show you how to do fine tuning with your brushes so that you can illustrate this properly. So, what we're going to do first is go to Object menu, Group, so that way we get everything together. And actually, before we group, you're going to want to just ungroup if you already grouped. Go back, look for all the fine little lines that you may have missed finishing connecting. Because if you don't connect enough, then it's going to bring issues. And you'll see what I mean later on. So, what I'm going to do is I am going to leave that open. All this together, the mouth is not sealed. And that could have been an issue right there in itself. Because what ends up happening when you finish this is that you're filling in color into this, and you're using each of the sections that it creates when you section things off, using the lines, as areas to insert color. So, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to group this, object, group, and I'm just going to make a copy of this. So I'm going to do Command C, Command V, and I'm just going to move this thing right over here. So, let's get into the fine tuning first. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go to your Object menu again. You're going to want to expand the appearance. Then you're going to go to Live Paint, Make, then go to Object, Live Paint, and Expand. Now what this does is it separates the lines into little segments so that way you can select them and delete the parts that you don't really want. So, what I'm going to show you is you're going to use the white cursor over here, not the black one, the white one, so that you can grab the little points. And you're just going to go in, and if you see a little something sticking out, like right here, notice how it just selects that part that you know you wanted. What it is it's just slicing off the remainder from 2 of the lines. You just hit delete, delete, gets rid of it. And like with the eye right here, it's a little piece right here, just delete, delete. This little bit right here, delete, delete. Oh, that's not good. Like I said, it grabs onto the actual line segment, so you can twist it however you want it. But for these purposes, we're getting rid of these little snippets. So we're going to delete those, these little things right here, just to clean up. Clean up. Oh, no, too much of the line. And then everything's connected. And get rid of this little line right here.
Where are they?
Delete. 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 And then that can stay. But this little, I don't like this little curl right here, so I'm going to get rid of that. So as you can see from the first one, that we kind of cleaned up the finer little things just to get rid of them so that everything's a little cleaner. Now, here comes the fun part. What we're going to do is we're going to highlight all of this. Ooh, got a little bit of the other ones here. Highlight all of this, go to Object, Live Paint, and we're going to make it. So, what this does is it creates a little compartment, like right here, the entire face, aside from the parts that are sectioned off with lines. So, what you can do is you can either hit, when you click off, you can either hit K, or you can go to the little paint bucket down right here on the side. And you're going to go into your paints. And when you go into your paints, you're going to select whatever skin tone that you think you'd want for yours. So for this person, I'm going to do this kind of skin tone. I'm going to use, and this is where your swatches come in. You're going to use your swatches to be able to color the person in. So let's do that. Let's give them some nice sandy brown hair. Let's go blue eyes. Let's go black in the mouth. Let's go a nice little pink for the tongue. And then if you ever forget which skin tone you ended up choosing, what you can do is just take your little dropper tool right here, select this part of the face, hit K, and it'll automatically pick up what color you originally meant. And I see I missed a little spot here. This is what I meant when you said you needed to be careful with your clippings, because then you get this little piece right here, and it's disconnected by the line segment, and you have to not only do the line carefully, but also do that. So that's what's going to end up happening after you do that. Next, the fun part comes when you're able to add your own color to this. Now, I know I said that a majority of this was going to be done with the illustrating, which it has, but now you're going to want to take the finer points and just use like a light brush. Like for me, I like to use one of the presets. This one is actually a really nice one to do. And you're going to want to go to the color guide. Now the color guide is going to help you out in a couple of different ways. It's going to help you out by knowing what colors go with it. Like the eyes, I did a pretty good job matching without looking at it. And this is going to be your shadow color. So essentially with the shadow color, you're going to use it to kind of give a little more definition to your character. So you're going to double tap that. And you're going to want to go to your brushes, select that brush, and let's see. You're going to want to go here, choose that color for that one. Make sure you're selected on this one, by the way, because this is going to be the actual line that you're drawing. And you're going to create shadows. Give them a little shadow on the nose. You also got to be careful when you're doing the shadows as well. And when you're doing the shadows, you're going to want to get it as close to the line that you originally did, so that way it looks like it's an actual shadow.
Yes. This is a major chop. Yeah. Like, tomorrow? Probably at the end of the day. Maybe Monday. I'm trying to push. Okay.
And notice how I'm kind of like going along the edges, trying to get this.
Down there. This is like the thing. The cover of the program of studies. Is that like the thing I hand out? Alright. I was just confused.
Give it a little bit of a neck.
All the courses are in it. Yeah.
Get that little bit of shadow. And then with the hair, do the same thing. Just get that color guide. Get a little bit of a darker brown. And just go ahead and toss some shadows onto that. Now I'm kind of doing a rush job right now, just to give you what it actually does, using complementary colors to be able to add in. And this is all stuff that you can just easily find on Illustrator. Let's see here, I'm just going to add in a little bit of shadowing. Notice another line that I missed, but it didn't do anything because of the fact that the rest of it was open. So let's do this. And it kind of gives the idea that the light source is in the top left corner. So everything else is situated accordingly. Give a little bit of dimples. Use the complementary colors. Use that. Give a little bit of a dimple look.
I think it's Angel.
She's like, do you know Frank?
Yeah, that was me.
And there you go. Now you have your illustrated piece. And then you're free to do what you want. Just make sure that if you're adding anything to the rest of the piece, and you're not just doing a portrait, make sure that you're going to take it, group all the shadows that you put in into the actual piece, and then you're going to want to lock it. So that way no one can mess with it when it's locked in the back. And there you go.